Fundamental analysis and directional bias. This is the most important video that you would watch this year. Now, gone are the days when if you just look at the market, you easily know if we are bearish or if we are bullish. Now you have to become very, very smart. Because if you're not smart, you can actually be selling and the market will flip and start buying aggressively. And you can be buying and the market will flip and start selling aggressively. We saw an example with what happened on gold today. And we've also seen an example with what happened on US oil, this huge spike to the downside. Now, what is responsible for all this spike? I want to give you guys some of the terms that you need to pay attention to. You cannot be a profitable trader if you ignore news events, except you have a big capital. But so long as you don't have big capital of $10,000 and above, you have to be very careful. Very, very careful. Pay attention to what is going on. The only reason where it becomes boring is when you want to learn everything. If you trade only dollar, pay attention to only news events that affects the dollar. If you trade only gold, pay attention to only news event that affects the gold. Narrow your search. In this video, I'll teach you directional bias and how they correlate with fundamental. By the end of this video, you should have mastered at least a little bit, even if it's 20% of fundamental knowledge. Now, let's talk about some of the key news events you need to pay attention to. Some of the key news events you need to pay attention to. Inflation. Now, what is inflation? Inflation is simply the rises of goods and services. Do you understand? The rises of prices of goods and services. Inflation is divided into subsection on the Forex Factory that most of you see, but you don't pay attention. One of them, CPI. The second one, plus PPI, is equal to what? Inflation. Now we have one powerful inflation indicator that everybody ignores, but that alone can also tell you if inflation is cooling down or rising. And what is that? The core PCE. This is also what? This is also an inflation. Now, what can you tell from here? We already know that inflation tells us if prices of goods and services are increasing. One shows us, one acts as an indicator. The other two come together to make up an inflation. And always remember, whenever inflation is rising, long term, it is bad for that currency. But short term, it is very good. Why is it very good short term? It is very good short term because they know the Fed will what? Hike interest rates to please investors or to invite investors into the country. Number one, you see these news events, don't miss any of them. Any day you see them on Forex Factory, if you know you don't understand fundamental, please close your analysis. And I'll still tell you why it can also, I will tell you how it can also move in your analysis favor, okay? Now, secondly, we have NFP. We have JOLT, job opening. We have unemployment claims and rates. Okay? Now, all this one, what do they tell us about? Jobs. Okay? You see these ones that I've listed now. NFP, JOLT openings, unemployment claims / rates, they tell us about jobs. As we all know, NFP is one of the most popular fundamental news events. Everybody that started trading has once come across NFP and they all want to always use NFP to their own favor. But the advantage of understanding the effect of those news events is what would make you gain more perspective in the market and make more money. Now, some of these news events would have an instant impact. I know, have you noticed when, for example, a PPI comes out, the market did not react. A CPI came out, market did not react. And you'll be wondering, PPI has lost its source. CPI has lost its source. If not, why are we not seeing huge pump and dump? This is because the market has already priced what would happen. Now, there's a statement that says, buy or sell the rumor. And then what do? You sell or buy the news. This is a very powerful statement that most people don't pay attention to. Now, if there's a news event upcoming, you know, when you go to your Forex Factory, you will always find actual, forecast, and what? And previous. Right? Now, let's say there's an NFP coming, and the previous NFP was 20K. Then the forecast is showing 100K. Meaning what? They are expecting an increase in jobs. But for that forecast to be valid, you need to go back and look at jobs opening, look at PMI, and look at retail sale, because you can use your PMI data and retail sale of August to tell what the NFP in September would be. All my students got this NFP. We made very, very good amount of money from this NFP this month. Why? Because we're able to use PMI and retail sale to tell what will happen. Now, check the PMI for this month. Is it good or bad? Check the retail sale. Is it good or bad? When you pair them together, you can easily tell, okay, NFP will come out positively or negatively. Now, I'm explaining this statement here. Now, if they already know that NFP will come out positively, what will happen? They will start buying the rumor. The actual has not been released though. Maybe today is Monday and NFP is on Friday. From today, you see dollar buying aggressively. Why? Analysts have already seen that the possible outcome for today's news will be bullish for the dollar. Instead, it will be lower, but it will be bullish. It will never be bearish. They will start buying the news. That's when you see the market buying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and during the news event on Friday, you see a massive pump, then a huge dump. Then you'll be wondering. Or you will see a huge dump, then a massive pump. This is because there are people that were already buying the rumor. So on the day of that news, they would what? They'll be selling the news. Why, if you flip it, that okay, NFP will come out lower, they will start selling the rumor before that day arises. And when we get to that day, they'll buy the rumor. That's when you see the market doing pump and dump. Then you'll be confused what's going on. Don't worry, I'll teach all this in my fundamental class. Just make sure you don't miss them. Now let's go to the charts. Let's explain what I've actually talked about. Now, if you look at the charts carefully, right? This is gold. Now, let's look at the last NFP data. The last NFP data was it was on Friday on the 7th, right? Now, see what happened during that NFP data. The previous was 20K. The forecast was 85K, meaning they were expecting what? A higher job data. And we ended up seeing negative 23K. It was even worse than the forecast, which is a huge bearish news for the dollar. Now, on Friday was on 7th of August. Now, let's see what happened on the 7th of August now. Look at what I told you guys. Just pay attention now and see what will happen here. This is the 7th of August. This is the 7th of August. Look at it here. 7th of August, right? Immediately the NFP was released. When was the NFP? Immediately the NFP was released, gold started buying. But before the NFP was released, see what happened from on the 4th. Remember, on Friday was 7th, meaning Monday was 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Monday was on the 3rd. From on the 3rd of August, which is here, market has already what? Started buying. From on the 3rd of August, market have already started buying. So what does this mean? It means that investors that were able to put in the PMI, job opening, and retail sale together already knew that NFP will come out what? Bad for the dollar, thereby leading to what? More pump on gold. What were they doing? They were buying the rumor. Let's go back. Now, as they were buying the rumor, what happened? Gold was pumping until the day of NFP. Where is the time? Let's move forward. 1 p.m. Here. This was the day of NFP. Right? This was on the day of NFP. Now, what happened on the day of NFP? Let's go down to a smaller time frame so you get better clarity. Because what I'm about to explain now is very, very important. This is 12 p.m. on the 7th. This is 12 p.m. This is 1:30 here. Here is 1:30. Now, on the day of NFP, what happened? The market gave a huge bullish candle, then dumped back. Now, this huge dump that happened were investors that were already buying the rumor. So they know that this huge pump that happened, everybody will start loading buy because now they think dollar is weak. But don't forget, now that dollar is weak, people have already been buying when dollar was weak 4 days ago. So some of them are taking profits now. So what happened? Most of them took their profit here and they liquidated everybody that started buying from here when the news was released. All of them, they've lost their money. Because everybody that started buying was actually buying from here. Immediately the news was released, you can see it here 1 p.m. It took all of them out, dumped aggressively, melted everybody, went back up, came back down again, melted everybody. Why? Because you were already late. We've gotten into an era where you don't need to be calm again in terms of trading. You need to know what you're doing, not just drawing lines on your charts. Remember what I said, technical analysis is very, very powerful. In fact, that is what brought all of us to this stage. But pairing it with fundamental would make it make sense and it would be easier for you. So can you see how I was able to put in both fundamental analysis to give me a directional bias? Now I'll give you one information you need to pay attention to also. Now the next rate decision coming up, I expect a cut. There will be a rate cut or hold, but they won't hike. Why? Jobs data are getting worse. Inflation data are cooling down gradually. What does the Fed need to do? They need to cut interest rates to encourage borrowing. Housing is getting harder for individuals to afford. So all this information needs to be put in place. From now till the next rate decision, gold might have flipped to bullish. Every dump you see on gold now, from now till September 16th, listen to me, from now till September 16th, every dump you see on gold is an opportunity for more buy. The more deeper it goes, the more aggressive it will pump back up. Take every single information I'm giving you was being very serious because you will learn from them. Now, let's talk about the CPI and PPI. Now, when was the CPI and PPI? It was released the following week, I think on the 11th, right? No, let's go the next day. Good. On the 12th. Now, the CPI came out the same. The other one to the MM also came out the same. This is what I want you guys to understand. The actual focus and previous helps us to understand this was the past data. The focus is what everybody is expecting. The actual is data that was released that day. If actual comes out greater than focus, it comes out as a shock. Do you understand? It comes out as a shock and the market will react aggressively either to the upside or to the downside. If actual comes out lower than focus, it comes out as a disappointment. The market will also react aggressively either to the upside or to the downside. But whenever you see actual and focus comes out the same, automatically, it doesn't mean the market will not have an effect to that news, but don't expect it to be as aggressive as you thought it would be. This is why most of you will say, this NFP was not powerful, this CPI was not powerful. No, this is because the news event already priced itself. And that way, nobody is even bothered by what is actually what's going to happen. Everybody just continues to trade in the normal trend that the market is. Remember, we are snipers. We don't rush the market, wait for the market to come to us. Join my Telegram channel, take my videos very serious, and see you guys. Peace.